Blog Talk Radio.
Here on February 29, 2016. Special leap year show on a Monday. I don't think we've ever had a show on a Monday before. But before we start, I'm going to tell you about a problem I had just the other day. Last week, my car started pulling to the right, and then the steering wheel started shaking a bit, and I started getting pretty scared. I thought it was going to fall apart right on the road. But all I thought I needed was a wheel alignment. So, with confidence, I took the car to a big service center. It's called Canadian Tire. They told me that in addition to a wheel alignment, I needed a bunch of other things. And in fact, the wheel alignment, which was $110, was the cheapest thing I needed. So, I don't know much about cars. I am very ignorant about cars. So I was in a quandary. Car repair shops have a terrible reputation for selling you things you don't really need. I remember once when I was a kid, the garage near our home sold my mother an engine shampoo, and my father, when he heard about it, he went crazy. So here I was having to depend on the staff of this place, Canadian Tire, as trusted consultants while thinking that they might be trying to cheat me, and that's not a good feeling, even for a few $100s. And in recruiting, the numbers we're dealing with are a lot more than that. And the candidates know that the primary goal of a recruiter is to make a good hire for the company. So they don't know who they can trust. Recruiters claim that the best deal for the candidates... Jerry, can you stop eating in my introduction? I can hear you. Okay? Stop it. I'm almost done. Recruiters claim that the best deal for the candidate is also the best deal for the company. So there's no conflict of interest at all. Everything's just peachy clean. Peachy keen. I had a bad sleep last night. Some recruiters even claim that if the candidate was not getting a good deal, they would tell him or her to walk away from it because they're going to look bad if they place someone who isn't going to be happy in her new position. Is that true? Did I get good advice about my car? Well, let's let the experts explain on Jerry. Jerry, what show is this?
The Recruiting Animal Show! For everything that you do. Everything.
Oh, it sounds like there's a subway going through the show. The guests, I talked to them just before the show. They're in a car. I can hear what they're saying. All of a sudden, the show comes on, and it sounds like a big roar. I'm not going to be happy about that. But before I get unhappy, I want to say, oh, boy. The show is falling apart already.
I'm concerned, Animal. I'm concerned.
You know what?
Tell them to put their windows up.
Yeah, they lowered the windows. They lowered the windows and stuck the phone out the window. I bet that's what they did, just to screw this up.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Okay, Maureen, I just want everyone to know, Maureen is in the hospital. Her husband, Bob, had a little minor surgery. We often offer to pray for people's job orders, but today we're going to do the usual Facebook thing. We're going to pray for Bob. We're just going to send
getting prayers.
Recruiting
I'm in the
energy
recovery
his way.
room with Bob right now.
Okay. Send your energy to Cincinnati.
What kind of prayer was that?
It was non-denominational.
He's going to kick the bucket with that.
Nobody can go after my religion for that, okay? So let's see what's next.
Yeah.
Let me see what's next. Okay. Before we do anything, I was going to do an ad, but I don't know if anybody can hear me. Can you guys close your windows in that car?
They are closed. They're closed now. This is as good as it's going to get. Yeah.
Okay. Is Martin Snyder
Sounds
here?
all right now.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to do an ad. Okay? Historically, people have been fairly narrow-minded. That's no secret. They had no cars or radio, so all they knew were the people in their own village, and everybody else was considered to be a stranger. And, well, here comes the noise again. And even when they went beyond the village, how can I do an ad? Nepotism seemed to be the rule of the day. If you have a company, in one of those backward countries, come after me if you want. You're obliged to hire your cousin or the same people, from your clan or your tribe. And it's the same with recruiting software. I should stop. This is not going well. Jerry, am I right?
Absolutely. Nice name together, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry. You know what?
You're going to be. There's 6 Jerrys on the show, Michael.
It's all right. No, I know who you're talking about.
I'm gonna put our guests on hold till I finish my ad, okay? Okay, because the ad's paying for the show, and they're
ever since you went commercial and sold out, it seems like all you want to do is run these ads. You don't care about your listeners. I mean, God,
The ads are great,
you sold
Jerry.
out,
Come
dude.
on. The ads are good.
Yeah. Okay. So look, if you're living in a backward history, 2,000, 4,000 years ago, all you know is your little village, right? And you only trust people in your village, and you only care about people in your village. And some recruiting software is exactly the same. It's only made for direct hire, or it's only made for executive search, or it's only made for staffing. But there's one recruiting software that is way more inclusive than that, and that's PC Recruiter. It embraces every kind of recruiting, staffing, search, direct hire, and if you want to check it out, go to PCRecruiter.com. Martin Snyder is the president of Main Sequence. That's the company that produces PC Recruiter. And Martin, are you here today? No. Okay. Good. I didn't want him to hear that. Okay, so let's go back to our guests. We've got superstars here today, 4 of them. They're in a car, a Cadillac, as far as I understand, driving from Atlanta to Florida to get to Sourcecon. There's Rob McIntosh, who is one of the founders of Sourcecon. There's Jim Stroud, who used to work for Rob McIntosh at Microsoft. There's Jeremy, who works for Rob McIntosh now. This is the Rob McIntosh universe.
There's a theme here going on, shit.
Jeremy is in charge.
Sounds like we got some nepotism going on.
Yeah, small village kind of thing. And then there's the outsider, Jerry Crispin, okay? And
we never worked with McIntosh.
He's actually the puppet master, pulling all the strings.
Puppet master.
You guys made enough noise that I'm canceling the song, okay? And we're going to the first question.
Well,
We're
just
going
for
to
the
the
record,
first
what
question.
song were we going to sing?
You're so vain. Okay. But anyway, it's easy. Everybody, it's the same words. The same words over and over again, okay? It doesn't take any breaks. Listen, let's get to the show before you guys totally wreck it, or maybe you make it better and wrecked already. Okay, sourcing department structure. What's the best structure for a sourcing team? Hey, are those guys still with us? Are you guys in the car listening? Don't wreck my show. Don't wreck the show. I trusted you.
Are you using a landline?
Yes,
Centralized.
I am. Oh, come on. Can you answer?
Hey,
Don't screw it up. Don't screw it up.
What is the best sourcing structure? You asked that? He did. He did ask
You know
that.
what? I got to tell you. Your
Tell
boss
us about the company.
Your
Tell
boss
us about the company. Is there a company involved in this?
No. You guys tell me. You're the experts. You're the Sourcecon Four.
You know, it's like asking a doctor what's the best medicine to take without telling him any symptoms.
Okay, you know what? years ago, we had Shally on the show, and he told us you had I think it was a 3-person structure at Microsoft. I have to answer the question myself. You had the sourcer who generated names. Then you had what they called networkers, which the people who actually were recruiters and called people up. I think you might have had some relationship managers who dealt with the hiring manager directly. I'm not sure if it was a 2-man or 3-person structure. 2-person? Okay, so great. Is that the best way to go?
Some companies, yes. Some companies not. Sometimes you're better off outsourcing it to an RPO.
Why? When is it better to go to an RPO?
Low complexity, high volume, and you want to do it for low cost.
Okay, yeah, this is going to be a great show. I'm getting a lot of help from you. Thanks for nothing. Okay, look. Here's the thing. But today we keep hearing that the sourcers are also actually doing the recruiting. They do the initial screen, right? And one of the major conversations. Everybody in the world thought that online sourcing was for dweebs, people who don't like talking to people. They like to be sheltered in their little cubicle and just talking, clicking on the typewriter, keyboard. And so now they have to be salespeople, which is the exact opposite of their psychological profile. How can it be? Why are you doing that?
It's not about changing sourcing. Sourcing changed, and we had to adapt to it. So you can't hold it back just because some people can't get the courage to make a phone call. That's not what is needed in most environments at this point.
No, well, hold on. When Rob McIntosh was in charge of sourcing at Microsoft, you had your techies doing the name gen, and you had the guys who like talking to people, contacting people. What do you mean it changed? How could it change?
That still exists, but to guarantee your self-employment, you should know how to engage with candidates.
You're giving non-answers. You gave better answers last time you were on. Let me ask Rob, who actually had a system, and Jim Stroud worked there. Jim, I'll ask you because I'm not getting help from the other guys. Jimmy, are you there?
I'm right here.
Okay. What was your job at Microsoft? Were you a name generation guy or were you a networker?
I was a name generation guy, and I worked alongside the networker who actually warmed up the candidate and screened them and got them all hot and bothered for the job. I would also add on to Jeremy's comment in that sources today, if they want to remain viable and valuable, they need to be able to converse with candidates and you know how to engage them.
Why?
Why? The way technology is, because the way technology is getting easier and easier to find people, but not everyone can pick up the phone and actually talk to someone. Especially when you look among the millennial generations who are so engrossed with the machines, with Instagram and emojis and so forth, they're losing the ability, I think, to actually look someone in the eye and have a conversation with them.
Yeah, everybody was good at that. Yeah.
Now, I'll say in the near future, a good sourcing training may include soft skills such as having conversation with someone.
Let me cut you off. Okay, Jim, you are just telling us that your old job is either non-existent now or it has been denigrated. You don't need many skills or brains to generate the names. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm not. I'm saying that over time, like every industry, there would be advances and changes. And just like with every industry,
Jerry, not Jerry Crispin, Jerry Albright. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are these guys just, talking about nothing and saying nothing and, not giving us any concrete examples?
Man, you're asking me to personally attack 4 fine gentlemen driving down the road, and I'm not going to do it.
Why not?
I'm going to do it.
They deserve it.
That's not my style, man.
Maureen, are you going to help me? Maureen, help me. Maureen, you don't like these guys who do the online sourcing. You know, you can be on my side.
It's not that I don't. I like them just fine. We just have a fork in the road.
Yeah.
They know how I feel.
Maureen's got some buggy whips to sell. Okay, leave her alone.
Some buggy whips to sell.
A bunch of them.
The fork in the road is that someone doesn't want to adapt to reality and accept reality.
Whoa.
Who is that speaking?
I don't want to tell you because you'll get mad at them.
That's the fork, Maureen. Time has changed.
Yeah, I don't know why times have changed. Unless what I said is it's so easy to get names. They're littered all over the place, so you don't need anybody with name-gathering skills anymore. The old source, there's no sourcers anymore. All those dweebs, all those techie guys just like to be on the computer and, deal with things instead of people. There's no jobs for them anymore. That's what you're saying.
No,
they're gone.
That is not true. That is not true. And nobody is saying that phone sourcing doesn't work. Everything, it's like if you make a statement that you need to be able to identify and engage, it's like you're saying Maureen's career was a waste and phone sourcing doesn't really work. It does work.
You're saying that it is a waste now. Yeah, that's what you just told her.
No, we're not. We're not saying that. We're not saying that. And then if anything, we're further validating it in that sense that it used to be back in my day, you have people doing two separate functions. You have someone doing strictly sourcing, someone doing strictly phone. And now we're saying because in some instances it's easier to find people with different tools, it means that you also have to be very well in talking to people over the phone as well. So it's almost like you have to combine those two skills.
You know what? I love it, Jim Stroud. I feel like I know you well, Jimmy, but I've never really had a chance to talk with you at length, but what you're saying is total nonsense. Let me tell you straight out. A few minutes ago, you guys were saying that there's names all over the place. Now, when it comes down to the crunch, you back off and you say, well, in some circumstances, No, you guys are saying clearly that these technical people are old hat. Name generation is like for morons now. Machines can do it for you. It's over. All we need now are the networkers.
Let me prove it to you. All right, there are a certain segment of the population that hate recruiters, believe it or not. And they hate them because they're always hounded by recruiters, so they will go out of their way to try to hide their identity online. And it takes sourcers, people who can really dig into the internet to help find those people. And so you still need people, the dweebs as you describe them. I don't describe them that way. But people like that to hunt those folks down because there are people out there who intentionally hide their identities online.
What percentage of target candidates are hiding their identities? I'm going to nail you now, okay?
I can't give you a hard number. I don't know
figures! Of course not!
5 to 10%.
5 to 10%. Great. So there's jobs for 5 to 10% of the people who used to have them before. Okay? That's what you're saying. Jerry Crispin. You're a high-profile guy. You're a high-level person who talks about, source of hire all the time. What's your opinion on this?
Source of hire? It's bullshit.
What are you
talking
about?
It's bullshit. It's a lab study. If you read any of my source of hire, and I've done 12 to 15 of them, they are lab reports talking about why the data sucks.
Yeah. So that's not what I was asking you, Jerry. I know I appreciate you bringing your own topics, but in this case I was asking for an impartial opinion about this whole thing about sourcing, where the names are coming from. Source of hire is your tagline. I thought maybe you'd be able to tell me, but now you're saying I can't. My whole job is telling people there's no real information. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I will tell you there's no real information. So it's a yes.
I wish I could get a job doing that.
5 to 10% of the people you're looking for try to hide.
Yeah.
That's a statement I would make, and it's based on more anecdotal shit than any serious
What is it
survey.
with this shit and bullshit? This is a family show, okay? Curb it.
Hey, so Jerry, are you saying that there is no value in tracking your source of candidates?
Oh no, I think there's an extraordinary value. It's just no one's doing it.
Okay, maybe I misinterpreted when you said source of hire is bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I thought he said.
I thought that you meant source of hire was bullshit.
Yeah.
No,
so perhaps I misread that.
I apologize.
Okay.
I misspoke. The data surrounding source of hire is bullshit.
It's validity. It's accuracy.
Yes.
People don't even know where their hires are coming from, though it would be good to know.
Yes.
Okay, I got another question for the sourcers. Can a good sourcer, or can any sourcer, do a good job looking for a kind of person he's never sourced before?
Yes.
Who wants to answer that question?
Yes.
Maureen says yes.
I'll say yes because that's how I got started. I was applying for a job as a sourcer in the 90s, and I asked the person who was interviewing me, how does a sourcer go about finding resumes, and they did not know. So I went and figured it out, and they hired me once I proved I could do it.
Where was that you got hired? Where was that?
That was at MCI in 1997.
Okay, so what about today? Things have progressed. Is it still true that a person who has never sourced in a certain area before can do a good job?
Yes. Yes. Because there are plenty of places someone can go to get training, or they can just figure it out like I did to a certain extent. Like I can look at a recipe and figure out how to cook a cake, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a great chef. It meant that I was able to pick up enough to get the cake made. It doesn't mean it's a great cake or it tastes good or anything like that. I think with further training, I can become a chef, but with a minimal amount of training, a little bit of tenacity, insight, I can fumble my way.
Okay, hold on a sec. Look, I got to talk to Maureen and Jerry to interpret what you guys are saying for me. Jerry, did he just say that a person who is not working in a special niche, can do a mediocre job? They can make a cake that doesn't taste very good necessarily,
or it might taste really good. He said that of course you can do it.
The 80-20 rule applies.
I think the question's kind of lame, really.
Really?
If there's anybody that claims to be a sourcer that couldn't go track somebody in a new profession down, come on, dude. I mean, that's the basics here, dude. My mom could probably do it. She's not even a sourcer. So I would assume a sourcer could.
What about a recruiter?
No.
What about a recruiter?
Of course. Jeez, man. You've got 4 outstanding professionals driving in a Cadillac. You're blowing it, is what I'm saying. You were blowing it with stupid-ass questions.
Help me out. You can free your hair.
A little loud now.
What did they do? You know what? When they get mad, they open the window.
I don't think it's a stupid question, and I don't think everyone has the personality to want to do it.
Well, hold on then, Maureen. Then they're not a sourcer. Maureen. Then they're not a sourcer.
It takes patience.
Maureen, then they're not a sourcer. We're talking about, can a sourcer go find anybody?
You just said anybody can do it. I don't think anybody can do it. It takes patience.
I was being...
No, that's not what he said, Maureen.
You were being facetious.
Just for the guys who are listening, I put you guys on hold so we can hear ourselves talk. So, hold on. Jim Stroud said... First he said, yes, a sourcer can find anybody. I did it when I went to apply for a job. Then he said, well, you know what? It's like baking a cake. I can bake a cake even if I'm not a good chef. It'll be mediocre, but I can do it. You'll get a cake. Now, Maureen is addressing another question. Maureen is saying not everybody is cut out to be a name generator, and I agree with her, or a recruiter. That's a different question. Maureen, I'm asking if people have to work within a niche in order to be good, or if they have a generalized expertise that they can take into any business sector at the drop of a hat. That's
generalized expertise. Come on, man.
Yeah. Okay. Maureen, do you understand? Okay.
How many questions do you have left?
I think a can work across any industry.
I got tons. You want to go, Jerry?
Rule applies.
You can go.
No, I was just wondering. I mean, that was kind of a lame question. I'm hoping you get to a good one.
Okay, here's one.
Okay.
Our corporate recruiters. This is for you guys in the car. Are corporate recruiters dumb? Are corporate recruiters dumb? Because I heard at a major conference that lots of them don't know what employment brand is, about half of them don't know that sourcing is not sorting resumes. They think sourcing is sorting resumes. We were told this by consultants who work with major companies. So I just concluded some of these corporate recruiters must be real dumb or inexperienced. What's the truth?
They're dumb and inexperienced, like hiring managers.
Yeah? Okay. That's from Rob McIntosh. And what's your current title, Rob, just so everybody knows?
Sorry, what can you repeat that, Mike? What was your first title?
No,
My
what's your
first
title now? What's his title? I want to know what authority is giving that statement that these corporate recruiters are dumb. Tim Sackett came on the show, and he said they are dumb.
I agree. So, look, it's degrees of.
No, let's say dumb means you can't learn. I think a lot of them are new and maybe not well trained. I think a lot of training today comes from technology providers. So you install an ATS or you get a corporate LinkedIn license, and people are leaving training to the technology providers, which is feeding to this problem and making it even worse. So I don't think they're dumb. I think they're not taught properly.
Hold on a second. That's a new question. Why are you saying the technology providers don't offer good instruction? Because we had that discussion here just a couple of weeks ago that the problem for many of these corporate recruiters is they don't know how to use a search engine properly, so the technology provider actually teaches them.
Well, they teach them not how to recruit and close and manage a hiring manager and use best practices. They teach them to use that specific tool. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah, Maureen, you're having a conversation with Bob, Maureen? I'm struggling to hear Jeremy as it is. Okay. Should I close your mic, Maureen? There. I'm going to close Maureen's mic for a minute. She's an awesome. Okay. I'm going to close your mic. Okay. Jeremy, you know what? We're not talking about skills. We're talking about if they're ignorant and dumb. Because what I was heard in the major conferences from people who go out to these companies, they don't know what employment branding is. If you follow recruiting online, that's all anyone talks about now. They don't know what sourcing is. They think it's, getting the applications and filing them. Come on. Is it true or not?
Yes. Already said the answer once.
Yeah, that was you.
I've been clear the second time.
Okay. And what do you guys want to talk about? Since I'm struggling with the sound, which I always hate. Okay. Here's one. Jerry Crispin. Jerry Crispin. You there, Jerry? Jerry.
Yeah. I'm here.
I'm never going to do an interview from a car again. I promise everybody that's listening to this. For everybody that's hung up already, I promise. But what's the future of third-party recruiters since there's so much automation and databases open to everybody?
I think there's tremendous opportunity for third-party recruiters, particularly because most corporations are going to get smaller and smaller and have fewer and fewer resources. The large companies are pretty much dead.
Really? Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because I think the data shows that many of the larger companies are doing less hiring, doing more automation, hiring fewer people, and the resources around them are going to be very different than the resources around a small company. So the opportunity is for third party is to become the recruiting arm for that small company, and I think that's what you're going to see a growth of.
Okay, Jerry Albright, is that true for you already?
I don't have enough information on it.
Okay.
So Jerry Albright, are there companies where you do all of the recruiting for that company?
Oh, sure. Well, only in my field though. Like I'm not doing accounting and HR and plant management.
Okay,
so
but
being an IT recruiting company, yeah, some of my customers, I don't even know who the HR people are.
Okay.
But then other companies, I mean, they have a giant talent department, and you never get to talk to a manager. So across the board.
So if you were my main go-to, I might come to you for every single job and ask you to find other recruiters who have specialties to get that part of it done as well, and I'd give you a piece of the action.
You probably could. It hasn't happened yet, but.
Okay, but what I see, look,
Apple.
Jerry, Apple started in a garage. Now they're a giant company. Look at all these companies that are doing the employment branding. They're huge companies like Cisco, Pepsi, Oracle. They've got so many people they can have a special department just for recruitment advertising, recruitment social media. I don't see the drift. I don't see the drift that you're talking. I see the drift is with the big companies are expanding their recruiting departments rather than reducing them, and they're hiring third-party recruiters to bring them inside. I thought that was the trend.
Now that's a different question. You asked me what was going to happen with third-party recruiting. So I'm just telling you, I think the growth in third-party is going to be with the smaller companies in being able to do all of their work. So that's one issue. The largest companies are becoming.
Go ahead.
To answer the question, the largest companies. They're basically increasing their specialization. So they do have employment branding. Disney, for example, has nearly 20 people in marketing, in talent acquisition, just for employment branding around the globe. They also have another 19 people in analytics. And you're going to see more people being hired in talent acquisition operations. So the larger companies are becoming much more specialized. There'll be fewer recruiters, in my opinion, in the long run, and more specialization about how we engage and how we continue to have communications with the candidates that are gotten.
Okay, so what you're saying is now that if I understand you correctly, that third-party recruiters are going to lose the market. The big companies are going to be reduced to the small to medium companies. That's where their future is. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it is. I would go further. I would say that in the United States, in large companies, the third-party marketplace is already almost zero. It's probably no more than 2 to 3%. And any large company that truly goes beyond that 2 to 3% should be firing more recruiters and hiring the third-party recruiters to come inside and be a corporate recruiter.
Okay, and what about then the future of inbound marketing? If you listen to Matt Charney, it sounds like inbound marketing is the future of recruiting. There's no need for a lot of recruiters, like you said.
It's a balance. Nothing will disappear. Hell, there are companies that are still putting ads in newspapers, so nothing is going to disappear totally. Inbound marketing will certainly grow, but there's a lot of job families that inbound marketing will have no true impact on without the recruiters.
Like? Such
high
as?
Complexity, high demand positions will always need recruiting.
What are those? What are those specifically? I don't understand what that means.
They could be something like high-speed packaging engineers, data scientists,
things that are highly critical to the business, that are difficult to find, and you have to talk them into considering a change and get them excited about the opportunity. That's probably 20% of the jobs. The inbound marketing is going to bring applicants to your jobs, and then all the automation that is taking place is going to match those and screen those, and that is going to become more automated in the future, whereas that 20%
okay, let me move over. Let me change gears, okay? When it comes to sourcers, who's more creative, young people or experienced people? Who's changing things?
Those people are. It's not a generational thing. What a stupid question, Michael.
What a stupid question, Michael. You know what? I got to tell you something. Every article No. Every article says there's a generational issue. Young people are always more creative than old people. But I happened to read an article by Adam Grant last week, and he said old people who've got a lot of experience, they're not early adapters, but they've got a lot of creative ability as well, based on the vast range of their knowledge.
So, Michael, Adam Grant just finished a book that article was taken from. It's called Originals.
Yeah.
And if you look at the book, and I just finished reading it, and I certainly recommend it, it by and large looks at the different ways that people are innovative and creative, and the way that young people are innovative and creative is different than those with experience. The young people are much more willing to take risky do risky things, and older folks tend to do things based more on the data of what they know and use that to be innovative. Whereas the young people, by and large, will jump into almost anything that has no data.
So how's that manifesting itself in recruiting or sourcing? Offhand, that's a tough question.
I think that's a good question, because I do think Grant had some pretty good data to back that up, and what it would suggest, shooting from the hip here, is that I would probably go after the younger folks to test out some of the new products, technologies, and tools to try to figure out how they could be used. Whereas I would be taking that data that they produce and giving it to some of the more experienced people to figure out how to refine how we would then use that if we scaled it up in the corporation. That's actually a great question. I got to think about that.
One example that I think you talked about this the other day, Godbrother, was about it's a commercial that has nothing but emojis in it. What was the commercial? Something about
L'Oreal. It was L'Oreal.
Yeah. Now that speaks to a certain generation, and a certain generation would think to do that. An older generation would not think to do something like that. So
I don't know if you're right about that. I don't know if you're right about that. With emojis as opposed to some other kind of sign language. Okay, go ahead with it, though. You want to talk about it more? Okay, I'm going to do another. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. Do your advertisement.
Okay, I got to put you guys on hold so it can be heard, okay? Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here. And I want to ask you a question. What do you want from recruiting software? I'm going to tell you. You want 4 things. You want low cost. You want low hassle. You want good results. And you want good service. And that's what you get from PC Recruiter. It's made by our good friend, Martin Snyder. He calls it the Swiss Army knife of recruiting. And you know why? Because it's good for every kind of recruiting. Staffing, executive search, and direct hire. It's the choice of 3,000 companies worldwide. And if you want to be a user or just check it out, go to PCRecruiter.com. That's PCRecruiter.com. And now back to the show. I'm going to open up the lines again. Okay, now you guys have a feel for the show now. Is there anything you'd like to talk about, or should I keep coming up with my question?
You can come up with your question.
Okay.
You want to talk about candidates?
Candidate experience?
No, just candidates.
What do you mean?
The ones you don't hire.
Who's talking now?
The ones you don't hire.
The ones you don't hire?
Yeah.
Oh, who's talking? Go ahead.
It's Jerry Crispin. I'm just saying, one of the things I think is not talked about enough is what we do with those folks that we don't hire.
What do you mean? Making them feel good?
No. Making use of them down the road so that they spend their time going out and helping you, helping to refer other people to you.
How do you get them to do that? Pay them?
Maybe. How do you get to do that? How do you get them to do that?
I'm the non-referral king. I keep telling people, how do you get referrals? call someone up. I'm not interested. Who do you know? I don't know anybody. That's my life, okay? You tell me what to do.
Well, maybe if you did learn to spell candidate experience, they might go out of their way to refer.
Give me an example, Jerry. Don't leave it at that, okay?
An example? You mean like a company that's doing it, or
no? Get
maybe
concrete. Whatever you want. Just don't leave it high level. On this show, you got to get granular, okay? That's my motto.
Okay. All right. So if you treat them well, 78% of them will go out of their way to find somebody to refer to you. And if you treat them poorly, 40% of them will go out of their way to tell people not to come work for you.
We're still at a high level. Let's get down to the individual recruiter. What are we talking about?
Let's bring it down a level then. Okay, so what are some things an individual contributor can do to improve candidate experience? So we kind of know what the organization can do.
No, we don't. We don't know, but we'll come back to that. Well, I don't know what the organization can do. He didn't say, okay?
People technology.
Okay, let Jerry define that thing. Go ahead, Jerry.
5 things they can do that account for about 80% of that. One is the extent to which the recruiter helps them understand what's coming next, one way or the other. At whatever level they are, at whatever place they are, recruiters who help the candidate understand what's coming next. If it's an interview, if it's a job offer, if it's a rejection, the extent to which they do that increases the candidate experience rating by the candidate. Period.
Hold on a sec. Hold on. So if you tell them, look, I don't think you did too well in your interview, I don't think you're going to get this job, that improves the relationship with the candidate? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
Whoa. I don't know how.
If you set expectations, it increases the rating that the candidate gives about the experience that they had. Second, if you demonstrate that you actually listened to a candidate who told you or wanted to tell you something about what is happening in the recruiting process, if you demonstrate you listen, you will get a higher rating from the candidates you do not hire.
What does that mean? What does it mean? What does it mean in real terms? Give me an example.
Example. I thought I did give an example. So obviously I did a bad example.
No,
you didn't.
What is it? Hello?
Yeah, Maureen, do you want to say something?
Yeah,
okay,
I'll give you an example.
Go ahead.
Hey, Maureen.
Hello? So if a candidate calls you and says, I expected to hear from you after we talked 3 days ago, I expected to hear from you sooner than this. If your response is to argue with them rather than demonstrate that you heard what they said, one is listening, one is not.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I think 972 wants to say something, but 1 minute. What do you mean demonstrating that you hear what they said? You say, oh, geez, I'm sorry, or please forgive me?
No, that's not demonstrating you listen. Active listening is repeating back in your words.
Active listening. That's a joke. I think active listening is a joke. You just make it sound like you're a tape recorder, and they know, everybody knows that's canned now. I want to say something. If you say,
Michael,
yeah.
If I understand correctly, what you're actually saying, and if I'm hearing you correctly, is active listening is actually bad.
That's right, yeah. If you say something like that 3 or 4 times, I'm going to say, this guy, Australian guy with the accent, he thinks he's going to manipulate me with that kind of psychological trick. And I'm going to give him all the names of my friends because he's telling me what I just said.
You've already demonstrated why no one refers anyone to you.
Okay, thanks, Jerry. Thanks.
But
Okay,
you have. That's one of the reasons why you get no referrals.
Okay, what does somebody wanted to talk here. Is that 972? Is that 972? Somebody wanted to say something. No?
I'm 972.
Did you say something? Did you want to talk? I'll give you a chance, but you don't have to.
Oh, no. Maureen asked me to call in. This is Trish Vidurk. I'm a sourcer here in Dallas.
Sure. You say witty things on the group. Do you have a question for these guys? Is there something you'd like to say?
No, she just wanted me to call in, and I guess you guys must have been talking about how many recruiters you support.
Fine.
Can you hear me?
Okay, if you have barely, but it sounds like you're in a car as well. But if you have,
I'm not in a car. I'm on a landline.
Yeah. Okay. If you have something to say, feel free. Jerry Crispin's going to give us, what are there, 2 more or 3 more ways to get referrals?
Can I throw one in?
You're not Jerry. You're not Jerry.
No. Okay, I'm gonna throw it in. All right, Adam, I just sent you a tweet to an article I wrote on how to deal with unqualified candidates, and this could probably help you with referrals and down the road. Have it. I suggest using like a template email that says, "Hey, thanks for contacting me, but this is what I recruit for. I recruit for job title 1, 2, and 3. I place candidates in these cities 1, 2, and 3. And this is what I basically do. If that is you, let's continue to talk in the future. If that's not you, then who do you know? That way it'll save you more time for turning people away."
Okay, I've just retweeted. Jim Stroud sent me an article, a link to an article. If someone wants to see it, just go to his stream or mine. Let's finish with Jerry Crispin's story.
One last part on it. Even though you send an email out saying this is what I recruit for, at the very end of your email, give them some kind of gift, like a link to a job hunting article or something like that, something that gives them some sort of assistance in some way. That way it'll sort of separate you from other recruiters who just delete the email when they get it.
Am I stupid because I think links to articles are not gifts? Okay, I don't think that's a gift.
Well, I was just saying just something digital that you don't have to come out of pocket.
If you send me a pound of coffee, that's a gift. Okay, a link to an article is not a gift.
Michael, I have to agree with you. I'd agree with you 1,000,000% on that one.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Thanks.
Oh, look at that sneaky person.
I would give out ebooks. That's what I.
Yeah,
that's
not bad.
Do.
Yeah, maybe that's not. Seems like something special.
Do they happen to be the ebooks that you've written yourself by chance?
Yes, they do. The download link to the one that's not free.
Yeah.
No, but I do give out ebooks. So yeah, there you go.
I want to finish with Jerry Crispin and his tips for softening up the candidates so they want to help you. What are we at? Number 3 or number 4?
You're at number 2 actually, but 3 is an easy one for you. Obviously, you want to close on people that you do hire. You ought to be closing on those you don't hire as well. And 85% of recruiters do not let the person who did not get the job know. Period. If they did, they would be appreciated.
Okay, so that's what I've always seen. That's the big thing in candidate experience. Let someone know they didn't get the job. Is that the key? And they're going to help me because they say thanks but no thanks? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't have any proof. It just goes against human nature. You rejected me, Jerry. Thanks for kicking me in the ass, okay? I want to help you. You're my best friend.
Obviously, the way in which you do that probably does turn them off even more. But fundamentally, the proof is there. The data is there. It does suggest that there's appreciation on the part of those people who did not get the job and learn about it from the recruiter or the hiring manager.
So how do you make them work for you? Later on, you can send that person, that rejected soul, an email saying, "Who do you know for my next job?" and they'll refer somebody. Is that what we're talking about?
Maybe not as exactly the way you described, but yes. The answer is I can build relationships with people that I turn down.
Well, don't leave it high level. That means nothing to me, okay? That means nothing to me. Make it concrete. What am I going to get from this person? An e-book or a link to an article that I don't want?
No. A quality candidate you're going to hire.
Really? Okay. There we got something, everybody. If you reject people and let them know it, they're going to be people you can call on in the future to help you. I do not believe that, but Jerry Crispin says the data is there, the big data. That's it. Okay.
Even little data is there for that, without a doubt.
Okay. You know what? My first ad was so muffled because I didn't know enough to cut you guys off that I'm going to do another ad before the show's over. You know, right now. Okay. Hold on one sec. Okay. Hi, I'm back with you, everybody. On behalf of my sponsor, PCRecruiter.com. And the point that my friend Martin Snyder, the president of Main Sequence, likes to make is that his product, PC Recruiter, is the Swiss Army knife of recruiting software. There's a lot of good recruiting software, he's told me many times. The problem is lots of it is segmented. It's focused on one kind of recruiting, be it executive search or direct hiring or staffing. His software, PC Recruiter, it likes everybody. Whatever kind of recruiting you're doing, PC Recruiter can help you. If you want to be a user, go to PCRecruiter.com. And I'll say something else. Martin Snyder is not living in any ivory tower. He walks among us. He's in my recruiting group at recruitingtricks.com. You want to talk to him? You can find him there. Now back to the Sourcecon 4. They are on the road from Atlanta to Florida. Sourcecon 4! You guys want... Yeah, right on. Okay. There's somebody else just joined us. Let me say, 571. Do you want to say anything? Do you have any questions for the superstars in that car?
Yes.
Yes? Go ahead. Who is it?
Hey, it's Mike Wolford. How are you guys?
Hi, Mike.
Go ahead.
Hey, this isn't a show about greetings. It's a show about questions and statements. Go ahead. Say something substantial.
Sure. So, a lot of news and noise has been made about LinkedIn purchasing Connectifier. Do you think Connectifier is gone now? And LinkedIn has been ridiculed as well, like, hey, the last person at LinkedIn gets a license. LinkedIn is a thing of the past now. What do you think will happen to Connectifier in this merger, and what's the future of LinkedIn sourcing?
And we were talking about it, so... What was...
Oh, you want me to answer this, don't you? Everyone's looking at me in the chat.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about the tactical... I'm sorry, that's my nav system telling me something, sorry. I think we all believed in some way, shape, or form that doesn't matter what LinkedIn does, it's still very viable. Recruiters are going to continue to use it until something else comes along that's better. And at this stage, there's nothing else along to get them off the sourcing crack.
I think with the Connectifier deal, I think it'll be interesting to see what part of that product survives that benefits recruiters, through the Connectifier tool. I think it'll be interesting to see what they had behind the curtain that LinkedIn wants to apply to its own data and what recruiters who are accustomed to using it on top of LinkedIn to see more contact information.
Yeah, okay, I don't want to talk about this. No, Mike Walford is actually... I have a question for Mike Walford. I'm tired of LinkedIn, okay? Okay, Mike Walford, Jerry Crispin, this is for you, okay? Mike Walford just wrote an article last week, and he said with your rejected candidates, you should go out of your way to spend time trying to find them a new job. That sounds ridiculous to me. Mike Walford, I wanted you to justify that, and I want Jerry Crispin to tell us if it's a reasonable thing to do.
Sure. Yeah, I saw that you retweeted that. But, yeah, you do help people. I send them, it's a very nice network to have. I mean, we got started in Recruit DC, and it was cleared space. So it's hard to find candidates who have a top secret full scope poly. So when they didn't get your job, you share that resume with another recruiter that recruits in that space. You help the candidate. Hopefully they pay it forward and send you some of their friends who were cleared. in the meantime, you sent a good candidate to one of your recruiting friends, and they start sending people back to you. So you end up being able to get possible referrals in two directions. It's very helpful.
I don't know. That doesn't sound realistic to me. What percentage of rejected candidates can you get jobs for?
Well, whether I could get jobs for them or not is immaterial. If I can help them and get them pointed in the right direction.
What does that mean?
They'll remember.
What does it mean, pointed in the right direction? Send a link to an article?
I mean, I suppose if that's the right direction, if their resume's a mess or something, right?
I can answer that. Five stores everywhere.
Go ahead, Jerry.
I would argue that every single military recruiter in the United States is doing that right now. They're helping their men and women in arms not only get the job in the company if they can, but they're pointing them in the right direction by giving them connections to other people in the recruiting community who are military recruiters, so that they're passing their buddies on. And the end result is that community is growing stronger and stronger. And
okay, now, go ahead.
I see that in at least 30 different companies that I deal with, and some of those recruiters now have connections inside competitive companies, so when they do get a really cool job, maybe a year from now, they've got people inside of other companies that they can call immediately who are going to take their call because they were helped before.
Okay, you're supporting Mike Walford, and Mike Walford got a lot more specific here. He got more specific here than before. Does that work in any other environments or just that specialized niche?
I think it works in a lot of.
Really, I'm
using military as an example. It's an obvious one.
Okay, Mike, you want to come back? I'll give you a break before the show ends. Jerry, is there an after show? Are you still here?
I'm here. No, he means the other Jerry. Oh, the other Jerry. Hey.
Jerry, you don't lead the after show, Jerry Christian. Wake up. Hey, is Josh Akers is Work Farce on the line? He says on Twitter that he called in. Maureen said he had the sexiest voice ever on this show, but although he has been succeeded by Travis Yeager. Are you on the line, Work Farce? No, but I'll send him a hello anyway. What's the last topic we should talk about before we let you guys go?
Facebook. Talk about recruiting on Facebook. Is it going to happen more than you guys are saying?
Thank you. For once, I agree with Rob. But before we answer that question or talk about that topic, let me ask you something. You've been in North America for most of your life right now. Why do you still talk like an Australian? Why don't you smarten up and speak like us, okay?
I don't know. I've tried to actually. I've gone to professionals to lose my accent, and they can't fix it. Whatever they give me, it just won't work.
Can't believe it. Okay, what about Facebook now? Let's go.
Do you guys think that more and more recruiting and sourcing and relationships are starting to happen on Facebook? And more recruiters are realizing that the candidates they want to get, they need to go to Facebook now, not to LinkedIn. I'm posing that question to the car, and I'm posing that question to your Canadian friends, Michael, and I'm posing that question to anyone else on the line.
Yeah, I think so, without a doubt.
Well, back it up. Don't just say yeah, okay? It's a show.
No, I'm allowed to ask a question. You don't have to ask all of them.
The groups that I'm joining now of recruiters are all on Facebook. I haven't joined any LinkedIn groups now for over a year.
Okay, but that's a discussion group. Jerry, I run a group. I know you're right about that. But here's the thing. There's all kinds of people applying to be members of my group every day. They have no professional information on Facebook. How could they possibly be searchable and useful to recruiters? Jerry Crispin, come on back. Tell me what you think.
I think you're wrong. I think the ability to sort from among all of those folks out there, to be able to communicate in a targeted way to those folks is just increasing more and more. Facebook has been becoming much more easy to do that with.
Okay, at the end of the show,
it's going to take time.
Anybody else want to come in on that? Who says they've made hires or They're making tons of money from Facebook.
Well, I think any social media that doesn't pick up on chat, on like we communicate on Facebook, any social media platform that doesn't do that, doesn't make hay with that, is foolish.
I don't know what you're saying, Maureen. Are you in a car as well?
No, I'm still in the hospital.
Oh, you're talking low.
The ability to talk to one another.
I got to
like
tell you,
do.
this is the first time a person has called a show from intensive care. Okay, post-op. Congratulations. Okay, is anybody else want to talk about Facebook? We're at the hour mark. The show's almost over. We can talk. Since there's not that many people here, we can talk a long time. If you guys want to talk a little more.
Jerry Albright.
I don't know.
I know you noticed.
He's gone.
I wanted to hear what he had to say about Facebook.
Yeah, he's gone. It's 1 hour. Okay, let's end the show. Are we going to sing a song to end the show, or should I just play the regular music? Okay? I will. Mike Walford, you're a first-time caller. Got something to say? Still with us, Mike? Mike Walford. No.
Yeah, I'm still here.
You have something else? Boy, don't sound so excited. You still have something else to say? You have something else you'd like to say? First-time caller?
No, I'm good, but thanks for having me.
Okay, well, thanks for calling in. And Rob McIntosh, the great Jimmy Stroud. I'm Jeremy R. Jeremy Roberts, the head guy at Sourcecon, and the great, most famous recruiting consultant in the world, Jerry Crispin. Thank you!